There is an invisible fuel powering the person making your life miserable right now. And the scary part is that you are providing it without even knowing. Have you ever felt like you were losing an argument you didn't even start? It is like a chess game where the other person moves your pieces secretly. A manipulator thrives by using guilt as a calculated tactic to keep you off balance. They expertly twist your words until you cannot even recognize your own original thoughts. Their ultimate goal is to make you question your own reality and your very sanity. In this hidden game, your reactions serve as their primary emotional power source. They lure you into trap questions designed to lead you straight into another exhausting conflict. You feel drained because they are operating on a board that you cannot see. What if the only way to win this rigged game was to stop playing entirely? Today, we are revealing a drama-free way to shut down these mind games for good. You will learn to identify their tactics before they even have a chance to land. We will master boundary setting to protect your peace from those who seek to disrupt. It is time to shift the dynamic and understand the difference between access and value. You will discover the broken record technique to neutralize their attempts at verbal entrapment. The manipulator relies on your confusion, but today that cycle finally comes to an end. You are about to reclaim your power and take back control of your own narrative. But to stop the game, you first have to see the board they are playing. Let us pull back the curtain on the invisible strings they have been pulling so far. Prepare to see the world of emotional manipulation through a completely different lens. No more feeling gaslit or controlled by those who do not have your best interests. This is your guide to becoming completely unshakable in the face of toxic behavior. Forget the old drama and embrace a life where you set the terms of engagement. To beat the manipulator, we first have to understand the nature of their hidden battery pack. They aren't looking for your agreement. They are actually hunting for your raw, internal adrenaline. Have you ever noticed your stomach turning before they even say a single word to you? That tightening in your chest isn't just stress. It is the signal that the game has started. Every flinch, tear, or stutter serves as a high-octane emotional power source for their fragile ego. Think of your visible distress as the primary food that keeps their toxic behavior alive. A manipulator treats your authentic emotional responses like a direct wire to their own sense of control. Why do they keep pushing the same buttons even when it is clear that they are wrong? It is because the logic of the argument matters less than the reaction you eventually provide. They aren't trying to win a debate. They are trying to harvest your peace of mind. Your body often senses the trap before your mind can even process the words being said. That heavy feeling in your gut is the warning that your emotional fuel is being siphoned. When you react with visible anger or hurt, you are essentially plugging them into a charger. This cycle continues because they have learned exactly which levers will produce the most significant results. They watch your face closely, searching for any crack in your composure to feed their dominance. Understanding this predatory exchange is the first step toward reclaiming your personal power and focus. Imagine your emotions are a valuable resource that you have been accidentally giving away for free. To them, your frustration feels like a victory, validating their ability to move your internal world. They thrive on the chaos they create within you, using it to mask their own deep insecurities. Once you stop being their battery, the entire manipulative machine will eventually sputter and die. Here is the secret to cutting that wire and protecting your emotional energy once and for all. Strategy 1 is simple. You must become the most boring person they have ever met. Cutting their power does not require a fight. It actually begins with the expression on your face. What happens when you give a manipulator absolutely nothing to feed on during their next attack? You are going to practice the blank wall technique to remain completely unreachable and solid. Maintaining a totally blank facial expression is a specific tactic that quickly deters most emotional predators. Imagine your face as a smooth, gray stone that reflects nothing and offers no emotional grip. Withholding your emotional reactions is the ultimate strategy to stop their manipulation dead in its tracks. When they try to provoke you, your calm exterior signals that their usual games no longer work. Can you handle being perceived as boring if it finally means being free from their control? To truly master this, you must learn to manage the silence between their words and yours. Try waiting exactly 3 seconds before you offer any kind of response to their toxic comments. This brief delay disrupts their rhythm and forces them to sit in the awkward silence they created. During those 3 seconds, you are reclaiming your power and deciding not to take the bait. When you finally do speak, your words should be as neutral and uninteresting as possible. Use simple, short responses like okay or HM to deprive them of any useful emotional feedback. Phrases like, if you say so, act as a shield, ending the conversation without starting a conflict. These neutral verbal responses are designed to starve the manipulator of the reaction they desperately crave. Beyond your words, your delivery matters just as much as the content of your brief message. Adopting a flat, emotionless voice tone is highly recommended when you are forced to respond. Keep your pitch steady and your volume low, like a recording that lacks any human feeling. By sounding like a machine, you prove that their insults are not penetrating your inner peace. However, be prepared because the manipulator might get much louder once they feel you slipping away. They may increase their hostile behavior or try even harder to provoke you once or twice. This sudden spike in aggression is actually a sign that your new strategy is working perfectly. Stay consistent with your blank face and flat voice, no matter how much they escalate the situation. Eventually, they will realize that you are no longer a viable source for their emotional fuel. You are effectively cutting the wire to their battery pack by simply being incredibly uninteresting. But what if they do not just want a reaction and instead start demanding a real answer? When a manipulator corners you with trap questions, silence becomes your most powerful defensive weapon. They expect an immediate response to fuel their control, but you are about to change the game. Instead of rushing to answer, try waiting exactly 3 seconds before you say a single word. This intentional delay acts like a circuit breaker, suddenly halting the manipulator's aggressive psychological momentum. By holding your tongue, you refuse to provide the instant gratification they desperately crave from you. Those 3 seconds of silence force the manipulator to sit with their own uncomfortable words. You are no longer just a target. You are now the one controlling the room's energy. This simple pause protects your emotional power source from being drained by their calculated tactics. But be warned, because the manipulator will not let go of their control so easily. You might notice them increasing their hostile behavior as they realize their old tricks are failing. Psychologists call this an extinction burst, where the manipulator tries twice as hard to provoke you. Like a dying flame flickering brightly, their aggression often peaks just before they finally give up. They might lash out or double down on their demands, testing the strength of your boundaries. Do not let their temporary spike in hostility rattle you or make you break your silence. This is the moment where your consistency determines if they continue to see you as a source. You are teaching them that access versus value is a privilege, not a right they own. If they keep pushing, maintain your calm and prepare to use the broken record technique. Watching their frustration grow is proof that your silence is successfully dismantling their once powerful influence. Stay centered in your power while the storm of their manufactured drama rages around you. Once they realize their tactics no longer work, the manipulator will eventually go looking for easier prey. Verbal delays work well, but you need a shield for when they start firing specific trap questions. They aren't asking for information. They are setting a trap where every single exit is locked. Have you ever been asked a question where a yes makes you the villain and no makes you a liar? This is the moment they pivot from simple conversation to using rigged questions as a tool for control. Think of these interactions like a rigged carnival game, where the house always wins no matter how you play. These conversational dead ends are designed to keep you spinning while they drain your emotional power source. Trap questions are officially defined as inquiries that specifically offer you no possible right answer at all. They force you into a corner where any response you give will eventually be twisted against you later. One classic example you might recognize is the sharp jab. Why are you always so sensitive? If you agree, you admit weakness. If you deny it, your defensive reaction proves their point for them. It is a calculated move intended to make you doubt your feelings and surrender your essential personal boundaries. The manipulator uses these questions as a precise tool to maintain a sense of total control over you. Every word they fire is aimed at keeping you off balance and searching for an answer that doesn't exist. You must recognize that these are not genuine requests for information, but rather psychological anchors holding you down. When you identify a trap question, you can finally stop playing the rigged game they have created. Remember that your value is not determined by how well you can navigate their impossible, twisted logic. Access to your thoughts is a privilege, but manipulators treat it like a weapon they can sharpen. Instead of falling into the trap, you must learn to see the invisible wires pulling the conversation along. One effective shield is the broken record technique, where you calmly repeat your boundary without any further explanation. Diffusing these moments requires a new set of tools designed to neutralize their control and protect your peace. Watch how this looks in the real world as we break down the next layer of defense. When they try to corner you with a calculated attack, you have two powerful secret moves. The best way to handle a dangerous trap is actually to not answer it at all. Why do we feel obligated to answer a question that is clearly meant to hurt us? Think of a manipulator as someone trying to bait you into their own exhausting emotional game. Silence is an incredibly effective response to trap questions because it makes the manipulator feel uncomfortable. When you refuse to speak, you are essentially cutting off their primary emotional power source immediately. They expect a reaction, but your quiet presence forces them to sit in their own toxic energy. Most people rush to fill the silence, but you must learn to let that tension hang there. It is like stepping out of the way of a speeding car and watching it fly past. Your silence sends a clear message that their attempt to control the conversation has failed completely. But what if the pressure builds and you feel the need to say something back to them? This is where you deploy the second strategy of switching the topic to something entirely unrelated. Answering a trap question with a question about a different topic is a brilliant defensive strategy. It is the conversational equivalent of suddenly changing the channel on a television during a movie. When they ask why you are being difficult, you might simply ask what they want for dinner. This sudden pivot signals that you are no longer playing by their rules or following their script. You are reclaiming your power by deciding which topics are worthy of your time and energy. This technique protects your inner peace while making it impossible for them to keep you cornered. Every time you switch the topic, you are reinforcing a healthy boundary setting for yourself. You are reminding them that they do not have unlimited access to your thoughts or emotions. By refusing to engage with the trap, you demonstrate that your peace has more value than their drama. If they still will not stop their pursuit, it is finally time to put the record on repeat. But what if they keep pushing and simply refuse to let the difficult topic go today? The more you explain, the more you bleed power to the manipulator waiting for an opening. Here is the phrase that ends the debate and keeps your boundaries perfectly intact every time. Why do we feel such a deep, desperate need to justify every single no we give? Is your long explanation just giving them more words to twist against you in the heat? Weak boundaries are expressed through long, detailed explanations that invite the manipulator to keep negotiating with you. Imagine a thin screen door trying to stop a flood. That is what over-explaining does to you. Strong boundaries are expressed through short, repetitive statements that leave absolutely no room for toxic debate. Think of a solid brick wall compared to a flimsy screen door blowing loosely in the wind. When they refuse to stop their pursuit, it is time to put the record on repeat indefinitely. The broken record technique involves repeating a single concise sentence over and over until they finally quit. It is like playing one song on a loop until the listener finally accepts the reality. You are not a radio station meant to provide them with a variety of different excuses today. "I'm not available" is a suggested phrase for the broken record technique that works in many situations. Remember that "I'm not available" is a full, powerful sentence that requires no further explanation. When they ask why, you simply repeat the same short line with a calm and steady voice. Every time they push for more information, return to your single, unwavering point of total defense. Long explanations act as the fuel your manipulator uses to keep their emotional power source running high. By cutting the explanation, you effectively cut the power supply to their manipulative game right now. Short statements signal that your boundaries are non-negotiable and your time is truly your own. You do not owe anyone a map to the internal reasons behind your personal choices or boundaries. Now, the hardest part. What happens when you have to walk away from the situation completely? Walking away feels like losing, but in reality, it is your most powerful move. We often feel a desperate urge to explain ourselves when someone treats us unfairly. You might think that if you just find the right words, they will finally understand. This natural instinct to justify your actions is actually a trap waiting to be sprung. When you offer long explanations, you are inadvertently signaling that your boundaries are weak. Every detail you provide becomes a new weapon for the manipulator to use against you. They do not listen to your logic. They search for any gap to twist your words. Your honesty is a gift, but a manipulator sees it as a map of your vulnerabilities. The more you speak, the more fuel you provide for their next confusing argument. Think of your explanation as a bridge that they are actively trying to burn down. To reclaim your power, you must master the art of the short, repetitive statement. Strong boundaries do not require a lecture. They only require a clear, firm refusal. While weak boundaries hide behind walls of text, strong ones stand tall in silence. A simple no is a complete sentence that needs no further justification from you. You are not responsible for their reaction to a boundary that protects your peace. Every word you save is energy you keep for your own emotional recovery process. When you stop explaining, you stop giving them permission to debate your personal needs. Short statements act as a shield, preventing them from finding a way back inside. They will try to bait you back into the cycle of over-explaining and justification. Don't take the bait, because your silence is the one thing they cannot manipulate. Every time you repeat your short statement, you reinforce your value and your space. This shift from explaining to stating is where you finally take back the control. You no longer need their agreement or understanding to make your decisions final. The invisible game ends the moment you refuse to play by their exhausting rules. Moving forward, your brevity will be the most effective defense you have ever used. When the words stop working, your ultimate boundary isn't a word. It is your physical absence. You have learned to speak less, but now it is time to master the art of leaving. Every moment of your life carries value, yet we often give it away to those who least deserve it. What exactly is your time worth if you continue to spend it on someone who drains you? A boundary is not just a line you draw. It is the consequence you enforce when that line is crossed. Removing yourself from a toxic situation is the most powerful response you can offer to repeated bad treatment. Think of your attention like a storefront that closes its doors the moment a customer becomes abusive. Or like unplugging a game console when the software begins to glitch and refuse to function properly. When a manipulator crosses the line in person, the most effective move is simply to walk away. In our digital world, the same rules of access and value apply to the messages on your screen. If they choose to be rude through a text, you have every right to ignore that message. Silence for several hours, or even a full day, sends a clear message about what you will tolerate. Silence is the vacuum that starves their need for conflict and emotional control over you. This strategic cooldown period prevents the manipulator from feeding off your immediate emotional reaction and energy. By withdrawing your attention, you are teaching them that access to you is earned, not guaranteed. This is not about being rude back. It is a calculated protection of your own mental peace. They expect a defensive reply, but your silence leaves them with nothing to work against. Walking away is not a sign of defeat, but a declaration of your inherent self-worth. Let the phone sit silent while you focus on things that actually bring you joy. Each time you step away, you reclaim a piece of the power they try to take. Why continue giving your precious attention to someone who only uses it as a weapon against you? Consistency is the key to making this withdrawal feel like a wall rather than a temporary fence. You are finally recognizing that your presence is a gift that can be rescinded at any time. When the broken record fails and trap questions continue, the only move left is to disappear. You have mastered these techniques, but why does this pattern keep repeating itself in your life? The answer to why you are targeted might actually be more surprising than you think. We often think being targeted by a manipulator is a sign of our personal weakness or flaws. But the truth is actually the opposite. They seek you out because of your incredible internal value. A manipulator doesn't waste time on someone who has nothing to offer their emotional power source. Think of your attention as a high-value currency that they are constantly trying to spend for you. When they treat you poorly, they are essentially stealing your time and your peace of mind. To stop this theft, you must learn the most effective defensive move in your psychological arsenal. Boundary setting isn't just about what you say. It is about who has permission to reach you. One of the most powerful responses to bad treatment is simply removing yourself from the situation entirely. This is called withdrawing access, and it sends a message that no verbal argument ever could. In our modern digital age, this boundary is most often crossed through the screen in your pocket. Toxic messages and demanding texts are the primary ways a manipulator keeps their grip on your life. Imagine receiving a rude or passive-aggressive text that immediately sets your heart racing with anxiety. Your first instinct might be to defend yourself or explain why their comment was so hurtful. But engaging with that negativity only feeds their need for control and provides them more energy. Instead of reacting, you are going to use a specific technique designed to reclaim your power. This strategy is remarkably simple yet incredibly effective at neutralizing even the most persistent manipulator. When you receive a rude message, you must implement the strict 24-hour silence rule. This means you will choose to ignore their texts for several hours or even a full day. By waiting a full day, you are reclaiming the right to choose when and how you communicate. This intentional delay signals that their rudeness has consequences and results in an immediate loss of access. They expect an instant reaction, but your silence forces them to sit with their own toxic behavior. You are effectively removing yourself from the digital space they are trying to dominate with hostility. While they wait for a response, the balance of power shifts back into your own hands. This isn't about being petty. It is about protecting your mental energy from unnecessary emotional drain. Withdrawing access teaches them that your attention is earned through respect, not demanded through manipulation. Every hour of silence is a brick in the wall protecting your peace from their chaos. You are no longer a victim reacting to their whims, but a person setting firm digital boundaries. Practice this rule once, and you will feel the immediate shift in how they view your value. Remember that your response is a privilege they lose the moment they cross your personal lines. Master this silence, and you will finally take back the control they tried so hard to steal. There is a hidden reason this exhausting pattern keeps repeating itself in your daily life. They did not choose you because you are weak or somehow broken inside. In reality, they chose you specifically because you are genuinely kind and deeply caring. A manipulator sees your natural warmth as an open door they can easily walk through. Like a moth drawn to a bright flame, they are irresistibly attracted to your light. Have you ever wondered if your greatest strength is actually being used as your greatest vulnerability? These predators look for targets who offer high value but have low personal boundaries. They thrive on your empathy, using it as an endless emotional power source for themselves. When you answer every trap question with patience, you are feeding their need for control. Your kindness creates a sense of access that they believe they are entitled to forever. But what happens to a predator when the prey suddenly stops acting like prey? The shift begins the moment you realize that your niceness is exactly what they target. They avoid people they perceive as strong because strength is too much work for them. A manipulator generally seeks the path of least resistance to get what they want. When you start using the broken record technique, you signal that the door is closing. Your boundary setting acts as a lock on the door that used to be wide open. They are looking for a host, not a challenge that requires them to be better. Transitioning from being nice to being strong changes the entire dynamic of the relationship. It is about understanding the difference between your access and your inherent personal value. Once you show them you are no longer an easy source, they will eventually leave. They cannot survive in an environment where their tactics are recognized and neutralized immediately. Your strength does not mean being mean. It means being immovable in your core. When the emotional fuel runs out, the manipulator will go search for a new source. This realization is the ultimate shield that protects your peace from future toxic intrusions. And once you realize that, you can start building a life that is immune to them. You might worry that your natural kindness is a weakness that invites the wrong people into your life. It often feels like being a caring person has accidentally painted a target right on your back. The reality is that a manipulator actively seeks out those they perceive as nice, kind, or caring. They view your empathy not as a virtue, but as an open door they can easily walk through. Being targeted doesn't mean you are flawed. It means you possess qualities that others find incredibly valuable. There is a dangerous myth suggesting you must become cold or cruel to finally stay safe. Changing who you are at your core is never the right answer to stopping a toxic person. Instead of losing your kindness, you simply need to wrap it in a protective layer of strength. A manipulator generally will not target someone they perceive as possessing a strong and resilient character. While kindness attracts them, the presence of strength signals that their games will never work on you. Think of your kindness as a treasure and your strength as the vault that protects it. You can still be a caring individual while refusing to let anyone exploit your generous nature. Strength is the boundary that defines where your kindness ends and your self-protection finally begins. When you project strength, you become a high-effort target that most manipulators would rather avoid. This is not about building walls, but about developing the backbone to say no when necessary. Remember, your kindness is a gift, and it should only be accessible to those who value it. A manipulator thrives on your softness, but they recoil when they face someone who is firm. This protective layer of strength ensures your light isn't dimmed by those who want to steal it. You aren't becoming a different person. You are simply becoming a more powerful version of yourself. By adding strength to your kindness, you change the entire dynamic of how the world treats you. You are learning to guard your heart while keeping your spirit open to the right people. This shift transforms you from a victim of circumstance into a person who commands deep respect. This is the final, most tactical step of all in your journey to total freedom. The best revenge isn't winning the argument. It is actually forgetting that they even exist. Imagine building a massive fortress out of your own genuine happiness and personal success. What would you actually do with your time if you weren't constantly worrying about them? Think back to the last time you did something truly exciting just for yourself. Manipulation is always most effective on individuals who feel an inner sense of emptiness. They look for that lonely void and try to fill it with their own chaos. You must become so occupied with your own goals that there is no room left. It is time to start filling your cup so full that poison cannot be added. Diving into independent hobbies is a powerful way to reclaim your time and energy. Every book you read adds another layer of mental armor against their calculated influence. Meeting new people expands your world beyond the narrow scope of the manipulator's control. These new connections reduce your emotional dependence on the person trying to drain you. When you are thriving in your own life, their trap questions lose all their power. You are no longer checking your phone for their messages because your day is full. This isn't just about finding a hobby, it is about a total badass level up. You are shifting your focus from their drama to your own incredible future potential. A person with a clear mission is a nightmare for anyone trying to control them. Your silence becomes a byproduct of your busy, fulfilling life rather than a defense. They will try to pull you back, but you will be too busy succeeding. This emotional independence is the ultimate boundary they can never hope to cross. You have transformed from a target into someone who commands deep, unshakable respect. Let's put all 5 of these powerful tools in your pocket right now. 5 tools, 1 goal, your peace of mind. Let's lock these in before you walk away today. You've seen how they work individually. Now let's assemble your ultimate survival kit for toxic environments. Strategy 1 is about power. Withholding your emotional reactions effectively stops a manipulator right in their tracks. When you refuse to give them the drama they crave, their invisible battery pack finally runs dry. Remember, your calmness is not a weakness. It is the wall they simply cannot climb over anymore. By staying neutral, you remain in control of the narrative while they struggle to find an opening. Every hidden reaction you keep inside is a victory for your personal peace and long-term sanity. Next, master the art of the neutral response to deprive them of any emotional feedback whatsoever. Simple words like okay or HM become your shield against their constant need for an escalation. When you say, if you say so, you are reclaiming your energy and ending their game early. These short phrases act as verbal dead ends, leaving the manipulator with nowhere else to go today. Practice these neutral replies until they become your second nature in every high-stress social interaction. Watch out for trap questions, those calculated queries that offer you no right answer no matter what. A manipulator uses these traps to corner you, forcing a conflict where you are guaranteed to lose. Spotting a trap question early is the first step toward neutralizing its impact on your mental health. Instead of falling for the bait, recognize the pattern and choose not to engage with the setup. These questions are designed to drain you, but your awareness turns their complex trap into something harmless. When they keep pushing, deploy the broken record technique by repeating a single, concise sentence repeatedly. Consistency is your greatest strength here, refusing to offer new information for them to twist or use. Say the same thing over and over until the manipulator realizes their tactics are no longer working. This method shuts down circular arguments by keeping the focus on your one unshakable and clear boundary. It might feel repetitive, but the broken record is a bulletproof defense against persistent verbal manipulation. Finally, remember your ultimate boundary: the power to remove yourself from any situation that feels wrong. Walking away is a powerful response to bad treatment that restores your dignity and protects your spirit. When boundaries are crossed, your physical absence speaks much louder than any argument you could ever win. You are never obligated to stay in a space where your peace is being actively dismantled by others. Taking your exit is the final move in shifting the balance of access versus your true value. These 5 strategies are your survival kit for navigating the most toxic environments with absolute confidence. Which of these powerful tools are you going to use tomorrow to reclaim your personal freedom? You have the tools now, and the first step toward your new life begins right now. The journey toward reclaiming your life begins with a single, deliberate choice made today. You now possess a complete toolkit designed to dismantle every toxic game a manipulator plays. But knowledge alone is not power until you choose to put it into action. Are you ready to finally take your life back from those who drain you? This week, I challenge you to select just one technique we have discussed together. Perhaps you will try the 3-second pause when they corner you with a trap question. Or maybe you will deploy the broken record technique to maintain your firm boundaries. Every time you set a boundary, you are taking a bold step out of the cage. You might feel nervous at first, but each small victory builds your inner strength. What is the absolute worst that could happen if you just chose to say nothing? Will you choose your internal peace over the endless drama they try to create? You are reclaiming your emotional power source and protecting your precious peace of mind. Whatever you choose, remember that you are no longer an easy target for them. You do not have to walk this difficult path toward freedom entirely on your own. By subscribing, you join a growing community of people committed to reclaiming their control. Together, we are learning to value our access and set the standards we deserve. Share your progress in the comments and let us support your journey to strength. Remember, your silence is a shield and your presence is a gift you control. This is the moment you stop reacting and start leading your own beautiful life. Subscribe now to continue mastering the art of living a peaceful, empowered existence.